Extension Bridge. I want to run through inside Gwarimpa to go.
What's happening in Abuja? What's happening 9:30 to 12 p.m. Live on 95.1 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Every workday in the FCT, only one question is important.
What happening? Abuja. What's happening? Abuja.
On 95.1 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and it is 5 minutes past 10 a.m. this beautiful Monday morning. It is the 20th of April 2026. If you ask me, I don't know where this time they go. If you ask me, which day we say Happy New Month, it'll be like yesterday. But that's the essence of life. Time waits for no man. Whatever it is you have to do, go ahead and do it. And what happens when the things you have to do, you can't do them because some people decide to do what they shouldn't do? Well, you wonder, what is Gabriel Spector speaking about this morning? Well, before I tell you what I'm speaking about, I have distinguished honorables, I like to call them. These are honorables in my book. These are people that they have the care and love for the country. You can hear it in their voice, you can see it in their actions, and they act accordingly to this I just said, talking about love for the country and wanting the good of their communities. I have in the studio with me, starting in no particular order, for no particular reason, Dr. Usang. Good morning, sir.
Morning, the beautiful voice on radio.
Dr. Usang, that was it, you.
You know, saying that some of me see the first start to call now.
What is it like? When she want enter me?
Even me too, sir. When she arrange, Mr. Ade at the chill.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Usangforgod, for joining us in the studio this morning. I also have none other, the energetic one, the legend and the myth, Honorable Doctor, Engineer, Captain.
And all those ones are no day.
Good morning, Mazi.
Thank you, Gabriel and Abuja. Good morning.
All right. All right. It's a good thing that we laughed at the beginning of the show. Of course, not to forget Fortune. Fortune is in the studio too. Shout out to you, Fortune.
Good morning.
All right. Good morning to you as well. It's a good thing that we laughed at the beginning of the show because I don't think there's anything funny about the conversation we're about to have. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very unhappy, unexcited. I'm very disappointed. I'm very sad to inform you that the FCT chapter of the National Union of Teachers have embarked on an indefinite strike starting from this morning. Yes, I'm talking about teachers that teach your children in primary and secondary schools across the Federal Capital Territory. I'm very sad to inform you that they have embarked on on an indefinite strike. This one, no timeline to it. As a matter of fact, I understand that they gave a warning to the FCT ministry, or I don't want to say to FCT minister, but to the FCT ministry, and of course everybody concerned as far as the FCT goes. And there was also, I think, an ultimatum or something like that. We'll look at the report, but I can confirm to you that the strike has begun as of this morning. What exactly are the problems? Well, let me share with you quickly. I have this report littered all over some major national dailies. As of this morning, you can check them out on the Punch, on the Guardian, on the leadership paper. This report is there, so it's confirmed that that's exactly what the issue is. So according to what I have here, the State Wing Executive Council of Nigeria Union of Teachers, Federal Capital Territory, has directed primary and secondary school teachers to begin an indefinite strike today. The union gave the directive in a communique issued at the end of an emergency SWEC, that's a State Wing Executive Council meeting in Gwagwalada on Friday, this last Friday, all right? Now, the communique was jointly signed by the state chairman, Abdullah Shafa, who I tried to reach this morning but didn't take his calls, the state secretary, Margaret Jethro, and state publicity secretary, Ibukun Adekeye. In the communique made available to newsmen in Abuja on Saturday, day before yesterday, the union directed the teachers to comply with the directive. So, did your children come back home from school this morning if they went to school and said no school? Well, now you know the reason why. The union directed the teachers to comply with the directive and await further instructions. Now, it's further advised parents to keep their children and wards in primary and secondary schools across the FCT safe at home until further notice. That just hold them, hold your picking first. Make sure they're safe for nothing to do them, but hold them for house. All right? It said that the teachers would remain at home until all their demands are met. I'm sure you'll be wondering, what are these demands? We'll get to that in a bit. The union explained that the decision was the outcome of the SWEC meeting convened to review the 7-day ultimatum issued to the FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, on March 11, which expired on March 29. I'll take that again. The SWEC meeting convened and they agreed that this is the decision they want to take, all right? After the review of the 7-day ultimatum issued to the FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, on March 11, which expired on March 29. Now, he said that SWEC appreciated Wike for the implementation of the 70,000 naira minimum wage and payment of the 9-month arrears to the primary school teachers in the FCT. It, however, said that the council noted with concern that the minister's intervention, which facilitated the suspension of the 14-week strike on July 2025. Remember that one last year, from like March to July, which was yet to be addressed. So he said, while the minister, Mr. Minister, sir, they commended him. You have done well. You have tried for us. However, some critical issues have not been addressed. I'm quoting now the communique. He says, and I'm quoting, the minister constituted a committee on July 7th, 2025, with a mandate to, within 2 weeks, 1, 2, diabue, harmonize all outstanding entitlements of primary school teachers. The committee, I'm still quoting now, the committee also directed to make appropriate recommendations that would lead to a permanent solution to the frequent industrial disputes involving FCT primary school teachers. The committee reconcluded its assignments and submitted its report on August 2025, not 25, August 2025. However, the report is yet to be made public till date, the communique said. The union explained that the 7-day ultimatum followed their unexplained delay in the implementation of the committee's report. It added that the move also became necessary following the continued silence on the legitimate demands of teachers amid the prevailing harsh economic realities in the country, particularly in the FCC. And it goes on and on. So during the course of the conversation, I would itemize the key demands they are making. But while I have Mazi and Dr. Usang in the studio with me, I was able to get a teacher right here in the FCT to give us an insight, all right, on from their own perspective. Why are they going on strike again? We want to hear from the horse's mouth. What exactly is the issue? Now, he played anonymity, which is absolutely fine. We want to get to hear from these persons. They are the ones who know where the shoe is pinching them. So it's only fair and proper that we get to hear from them. Hopefully, when we reach out to the FCTA, perhaps we get to hear a response from them as well. So I'll just dial the number right away. But let me start with why I'm dialing this number. Mazi, Dr. Usang, we are here again. In the last 3 years, about 22 weeks of academic work, 22 academic weeks have been lost to strike for primary and secondary school pupils right in the FCT. 22 weeks. Approximately about 150 days thereabouts of not normal days, academic days. Monday to Friday, academic days. But here we are again. Dr. Usang, Mazi, please, what do we make of this? Let me go with you, Dr. Usang.
Okay, thank you so much, the finest voice on radio. And I want to also say thank you so much to Nigerian Info Management for this privilege. Gabriel, it saddens my heart that some key and very critical institutions that forms a nation are being treated and neglected, made to, have or suffer the fate of abandoned children. Now, after the family is the first and most first institution that a child is exposed to after birth, where you are trained morals, few informal education here and there, and some religious doctrine.
Okay, I think our caller, we've been able to connect. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning, sir. How are you doing this morning?
Very well, thank God.
All right. So let's just get right into the conversation. First and foremost, please kindly help us confirm the information that FCT primary and secondary school teachers are embarking on strike this morning.
Yeah, that's correct information. The primary schools and secondary schools in FCT have embarked on an indefinite strike starting from today, this month.
All right.
Supposed to be the resumption day.
All right. Thank you so much. Thanks for confirming that report. Now, can you please help us with the reasons why just barely a year ago there was an elongated strike by this same group of persons, respectfully speaking, that embarked on a strike. But here we are again, barely a year after. We are back on this same matter. What exactly are the reasons why they're embarking on strike?
The reasons are not perfect from the same reasons that they embarked on the previous strike action. And that is because a lot of their entitlements are being withheld. They are not being paid what they are supposed to be paid. So they went on the last strike to press home their demands. And there was an intervention by the FCT minister that led to the suspension of that strike. And according to the union, a committee was set up and it was given a time frame to look at the remaining issues and report back to the minister for necessary action. But unfortunately, since then, nothing has been done concerning those issues till date. And that is why the union is demanding that action should be taken. And since nothing is coming forth, they decided to go on another indefinite strike again.
All right. You mentioned that the FCC minister intervened the last time teachers embarked on strike in the FCT. Is it that since that time teachers have been owed salaries, or what exactly? Are you being owed currently? You said yes. Go on.
Yeah. What is happening is this. There are certain entitlements that should be given to the teachers that are part of their basic their pay, their salaries, such as the 40% peculiar allowance, very, very important. And over 2 years now that this is supposed to be added to the primary school teacher's salary. It is unfortunate that up to date it has not been added. And
what is the 40% peculiar allowance? Can you please help us explain what that means and how it works?
The 40% peculiar allowance was approved by the federal government for workers. It is basically to cushion the effects of the fuel subsidy removal, the state of the economy, and what have you. So, but for the primary school teachers in FCT, they have been denied it alongside the wage award. They never received any wage award or 35K wage award. They never received any of it. They also never got their 25 or 35% salary increase that they are entitled to as workers in FCT. And a whole lot of other issues also ranging from promotion areas and what have you. Everything is just there.
But this is not an issue peculiar to the teachers. Talking about the FCT, I'm sure other civil servants in other sectors are having similar issues. Economic hardship, unpaid arrears, unpaid allowances. Why do the teachers think that they demand to be heard amongst all other sectors? Hello? Okay. I think that call dropped there. The network was actually a bit shaky all through the call, but I think we're able to make something from all he said. Let me come back to you, Mazi and Dr. Usang. Yeah, Dr. Usang, you're saying something?
Yes, I was saying something. I was saying that in nation building, there are critical institutions that they helps to actually nurture and then bring up the citizens. And the first and most important is the family into which children are born. And there you learn norms, you learn some habits, you learn a few things. The next and major is the school. Yeah, the schools is one strongest institution for socialization after the family. And here you can bear me witness that sometimes some of our mess as parents are being corrected in the schools. Yeah. Now I'm bringing this so that we don't underrate the institution of the school and by extension the role of teachers. Now, if you have an institution, if you have an institution like the school, which builds children, educates children, and form children, and make them become whatever they will be, positively or negatively, such an institution cannot and should not be treated with levity. But here we are, every here and there, Nigeria ranks first among the country with most frequent teachers strike. And what does this lead to? It leads to the school and teaching teaching job not being regarded. And you may not find people who have passion, who are, it's a calling. I have a belief that teaching is a calling.
I do too.
No matter how brilliant you are,
I agree with you.
You may not be gifted
to be a teacher.
To be
Absolutely.
A teacher. And so, if the atmosphere is not conducive, if there are no welfare to attract those who are naturally gifted for teaching, what you have may be people who just want to make ends meet.
Yeah.
And then the result is that we have children who are not properly molded. Then we now have teachers who might probably be helping students get grades, so the school is properly ranked. And then these children are not well formed. The end product of that might be very, very dangerous to the society.
I agree with you, Mazi. I mean, thank God we have competitions like I Beg to Differ right here in Nigeria Info. It shows that some schools, especially public schools, I mean, certain names comes to mind. GSS Caro, for example, comes to mind. Shows that certain schools still find a way, some way, somehow, to employ the best of hands. But this perhaps might be, can we call it an epidemic, Mazi? Can we say it's an epidemic, an attack on the future of the country, that we have children Mazi, in my life, I think of it as, am I dreaming that teachers in primary and secondary schools, I thought it's only ours that will go on strike. I've said this over and over again. Can we consider it an epidemic?
If there is any word that is more than epidemic, that's what we are supposed to use. Thank you once again for having me. If you check countries, maybe use your chat GPT, that pay primary school and secondary school most, there's countries that invest more in primary and secondary education. You find that you see countries like Luxembourg, Germany, Denmark, Austria, Netherlands, and so on and so forth. Now, if you look at these countries and you see how they are faring, how they are doing well, nobody needs to tell you. I said when we had this particular discussion about the primary schools, teachers went on strike again before the minister intervened. I think Sahel was
on the show
holding for that day. In some countries like Germany, if you have they have a good primary secondary education to a point that even when you finish your primary education.
Mazi, tell us about Germany after this commercial break.
All right, thank you.
More talk, news and sports after this.
Tsarin MTN Plus don more kira sharuɗa da
Meeting right here on 95.1 Nigeria Info, and we're discussing FCT secondary school teachers embarking on an indefinite about Germany. Mazi, let's come back to you, sir. We're talking about Germany.
So I was actually talking about how, this, because this primary, secondary, that is the basic. Secondary, university education is very good. Do you understand me? But some of these countries, like Germany that I was trying to say before we went on break, don't really focus much on that. Those of them, if you check about the people who work at some of those well-known motor brands who assemble those vehicles, many of them didn't study, automobile engineering in the university. From your primary education, you can go to the technical education where if it's carpentry you want to focus on, if it's on vehicle repair and so on, they do that. And there's nothing bad in you going for the higher education, the university education. But you see, this basic education can actually help you. If you get a good primary education, you've learned the skill to communicate. You can, if here that we use English as a song, you can speak well, write enough. You have that enough skill to write, to deal with any business, a customer, or anything. But here we have a group of leaders who play down on this education. Look at the 50s, the 60s, the 70s. 80s, I think the decay began maybe in the late 80s, early 90s, when we started seeing a decline on this primary and secondary education. The first thing they did was to move it to area council chairman to take care of primary education, which for me is absolute nonsense.
Why do you say that?
Yes, because these same people, look at the last election. I've been saying it. Why am I seeing their pictures on billboard asking for second term? They were the ones who in the primary education. We can intervene to pay primary. The constitution says the responsibility of area council chairman or area council government to pay primary school teachers. They are not paying them. Look at the teacher who you called. What he said, all the awards, all the things that they said, the pay they are supposed to get to cushion the effect of the fuel increase, the mess in the economy and so on. They've not received
the peculiar allowance. And
these teachers are human beings. They have children as well. They go to hospital, they go to market, they need to feed and eat. I feel like some of these our leaders, they've betrayed us.
But Mazi, Dr. Usang, isn't that a responsible? Sorry, Mazi, you continue now. But isn't that on the citizens? Is it that we allow this local government chairman, area council chairman, we allow them too much leeway, whereby they get away with a lot of things? If it is their responsibility to pay teachers salaries and they did not do it, isn't it on the people that did not demand accountability?
You have a point. But remember what happened in the last election. Of course, we blame the citizens as well in the fact that some of them didn't come out for the election. And I was shouting that if you do not come out, you've given room for the election to be rigged. You've given room for anything to happen. Because if you and I, who know the importance of primary education, if we didn't come out to participate in the election, the people who we decide are those ones who receive 1,000 to 2,000 naira, and they are going to vote back the person who gave them that small money. Now, if we are at home that day and I was at home, I didn't go out to vote, what do you think will happen? Those who will decide our fate are those who do not know anything. And lastly, if you have imagine we are looking for president of Nigeria Info today, and we have 100 voters here to participate in that election, whoever is going to be the president of Nigeria Info. And out of the 100 that are registered to vote, only 10 came out. Whoever you point, even if that you made Usang the chairman for the electoral board, do you understand me? And only 10 came out. The 90, you've given room for him to play around with 90 if he has a bad intention. Do you understand what I'm saying? But imagine if we have like 90 of that 100. There is nothing he can do with that extra 10 votes, because the 90 that came out already, they've decided, the direction that we are going to go. However, I insist that these leaders betrayed us, because these are people who enjoyed free and quality education that government provided. Now they are like that person who crossed the bridge. Now you burn the bridge. You don't care what is happening. Two of the best schools that we have around my time are being owned by wife of former presidents. Primary schools, and I think they have secondary schools as well. Whether they are alive or they are gone, it's a different conversation. But you see, when you have the people who will make policies that will ensure that we have our teachers are well paid, that there is no disruption in terms of our primary education system. Now, owning schools, what do you expect? How many area council chairmen today do you have their children in any of the early year schools? Have you even been to anyone? The one close to my house, even if I'm doing a party, I can't use that venue. If they give you that place to rear chicken, you will spend so much money. But that is where somebody's children sit. We went to here with Madam Willie and the Fizzy, the one that is not far in town, and there's nothing to write home about. They imagine what is happening in rural areas. If the one that you have in Wuse and Gariki, they are in that big mess, and you have these people, and it has nothing to do with funding. Because I think that these men, especially the area council chairman, they are putting the money where they want. Go to Wuse Market, you see that new plaza that they are building, which is going to cost you billions. I know, because the quality of job they are doing there. But when it comes to primary education, it doesn't matter. No roof. The ceiling is gone. Not painted. Grass is everywhere. Now, a teacher who is hungry, you heard the voice of this man. How do you think that this particular man that you interviewed today, if he is to teach your child, will impact the child the best way? When he's already frustrated, when he's hungry, when he's angry, when he feels like he's being used. In this Nigeria, we have our best doctors. Like I said the other day, I have like 2 or 3 of doctors who are my good friends. They've left this country. The other one before he left, the last one that left, is in UK today. When he was telling me about how some of them are being paid, I told you the other day that there are doctors in this FCT. They are collecting like 200K, and some people called and they were talking nonsense. These guys, we are almost like you've graduated as a doctor, no job in the right place that you want. You have people, an agency who contracts them, picks a doctor and a nurse, and you're earning 100K, 200K, a medical doctor. He left because the other time I was with him, when the mom called, he couldn't just send him, something reasonable. And I remember the statement that he made, and I felt bad. Like, how can this woman spend so much to train me, and I can't, take care of her, take care of you, after that thing. Now our doctors are leaving, nurses are leaving, teachers are leaving. You heard the other time they did advert, a particular country. Now they are asking, they opened the door for our primary and secondary. They want to absorb our teachers. And if you go to, you mentioned Karo secondary school. Some of these schools today, they have one of the best teachers in Africa. It's still in our schools, because if you check the whatever that they use in training our teachers, our primary secondary schools, they are still up there. But we spend so much in training these people. They go through all these things. They come out, you frustrate them. You're paying him. Why should you be talking about 70,000 naira minimum wage
for teacher? Dr. Usang, let me come back to you. According to the Sustainable Development Goals, SDG, which was moved from Millennium Development Goals in 2015 to SDGs to 2030, which is about 4 years from now, which we don't want to begin to talk about how poorly or not so good. I don't want to cast aspersion that we are performing. One of the critical development goals that the world, which Nigeria is a signatory to, that we're going to try to achieve, is quality access to quality education. It's one of the 17 goals, access to quality education. And so, if local government chairmen, area council chairmen do not pay teachers who teach our children, and as a result or in consequence, denies our children access to education, don't you think that's an infringement? Don't you think that action should be taken against such individuals? Mazi spoke about some of them on posters again. I don't know. I don't want to get into politics. We're talking about governance now. Governance and doing the job you are there for. Don't you think that something is wrong? There's a disconnect between governance and the people, whereby some way, somehow, people don't seem to... What is the problem there? People don't seem to want to demand for these things from people who are responsible for these things. Or is it the presidency again? Is it the FC minister? Or you're looking at the local government chairman? What exactly is the problem?
I don't want to focus on the president or the minister. I want to see it as an holistic challenge that are being faced. And before I continue, I also want to allude to what Mazi said. Talk about primary education. As a matter of fact, a good primary education is enough to keep you.
Yeah.
During our time, we learned how to write letters in primary school. We read and you can read and write very well. In fact, if you went to a good primary school taught by teachers with good mind, it can take you. If you become a carpenter, you can communicate. You can calculate your money. You will not be cheated. You can manipulate your phone. You can do your bank app, and it's enough to take you. And so we shouldn't take it for granted. Secondly, sir, I want to remind Nigerians and our leaders that the public schools are the majority in terms of schools. The private school, how many people
can afford?
Can afford the private schools. And so, if the majority of children that are future leaders go through this system, I can promise you that psychologically they'll be drilled. And as a matter of fact, it can even lead to inferiority complex. Because you do not bring up a child, and then the child goes to a school taught by an unhappy teacher, a teacher that even the physical disposition is not even encouraging, and then chances are that these teachers might influence the children negatively. My concern is that we may think that everything is politics, insecurity, light or no light, whatever we become as a people.
Yeah.
The security we are desiring, sir, it starts from the education of the children. Children's minds are made within a certain age bracket. And when they are molded, it becomes difficult to change. It's like trying to bend a dry stick. So I am suggesting that primary education and by extension to secondary education should be taken seriously. You talk about whether it's sabotage or whatever, it's even sacrilegious for us to neglect that aspect of our nation building, where we just feel that it's not teachers, it doesn't matter. No. Tomorrow, these children go to the street. The time they are not spending in school, they spend it elsewhere. Some will start helping their parents to do business. Maybe they have parents that sell in a drinking place. They go there as young as they are, helping to serve. And by serving, some unscrupulous elements, men begin to, one way or the other, you are influenced by your environment.
Yeah.
When the children are not in school, they will be somewhere.
Yeah.
And when they are not in the right places, it will be dangerous because they will be affected. Now, sir, see, we should not neglect education because it has a ripple effect on every other sector.
I agree with you.
We can't come sometimes on air and we blame the churches, we blame the pastors, we blame the imam, we blame the mosque for failing in their responsibility to do what? To correct.
How can you pray over someone that is already damaged?
To even correct, we blame the
whose
churches
foundation is corrupted.
We blame the churches for crime. We blame the churches for marriages that are not working. But these people were molded first and foremost by the family as a primary and first institution, and then next the school.
Yeah.
So when you miss it at the family level, where parents are too busy looking for money, parents are not available to impact children, you push them to schools. Yeah. And then if the schools are not well formed, the teachers are not happy, they are not well paid, they are not teaching them with the right curriculum or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. What do we have? We have a transmission of such children into the society. Tomorrow they'll become politicians. Right. Tomorrow they'll be in place of authority. They'll be where they can control things.
And the ones that are not in politics are on the other side, causing problems for the communities.
That is the truth. That is the truth. So I am suggesting that if you want to get it right, there are many sectors of the country that should be looked into, but education should be. In fact, if there's this word they used to call it should declare state of emergency in education. Yeah.
All right. Dr. Usang says, let's declare state of emergency on education in Nigeria. Do you agree with that? I'm going to the phone lines now. I want to get to hear from you. I have some messages that have already come in. But I remember very vividly, I'm not an elderly individual, but I've spent some significant time on earth. I remember when I was in primary 4, Mazi, Mr. Dennis, I used to struggle with mathematics when I was in primary school. I struggled with mathematics. It was when I got to primary 4. Mr. Dennis, Isaka, that is over several decades ago now. That's one name I can never forget, because that's the person that helped this gentleman speaking to you today in mathematics and quantitative reasoning. I did sciences in school, calculus, derivatives, and the rest of it. It started from primary 4. So to all teachers out there, listen, forget about what it is right now. You are the lifeline, the life wire of the nation. What you're doing now, you may not see the reward today. If I see Mr. Dennis, he might not even recognize me. But what he did several years ago, when I was in primary 4, is one of the things that has helped me personally. You spoke about primary schools being, if you get it right in primary schools,
that's all.
You are sometimes in many foreign nations, that is all they get.
Yes.
That basic education, and they go on to do other things. Don't bother about school again. And I agree with you, because primary 4 was when I was helped with mathematics. And guess what? Well, I didn't do arts courses in school. I did sciences, but I have used the knowledge, that expertise, that's understanding and all of that. So if you're a teacher listening to this show right now, I want to tell you that forget about what is happening. You are important to the nation. It may not look like it. Your bank account may not look like it. What you receive, how your family looks like, the fact that you can take care of your children properly, it does not change the fact that you are important to the country. You may have 30 children on only you, which is not supposed to be so. It is supposed to be 20 to 25 to 2 teachers. That's a standard according to UNESCO. You may have only 40 children, but I'm telling you,
some classes 50.
50.
Yeah.
You are important. We are assuring you, we are reminding you. All right, let's get to the phone lines.
Before you go to the phone line, sir, I will not leave the studio except I make this comment.
Okay.
Teachers don't only teach or do what they are paid to do. Some of them go extra mile to assist children beyond their scope. Teachers do welfare. I am a product and I'm a beneficiary of the benevolence of teachers. My dad could not afford my school uniform. Wow. My dad could not afford some of the things I needed. My primary 4 teacher she will pay for me. She's still alive. Her name is Mrs. Mary Inyang Ukam. She will pay for me, get me uniform, and she was not the only one, but she took it extra mile. During holiday, she would take me home to stay spend a holiday with the family. So when I come back, it gives me that sense of belonging. It makes me feel loved and whatever. That woman and that school helped to mold me. And the reason why I'm involved in informal education of children, that is one of the reasons why I, put my hands into seeing the best and how much I can also impact on other children.
I don't know if Mazi have primary 4 story, because we say all of us now get primary 4 story.
Okay, mine was actually in around the just 1 or 2 or so. The woman, Mrs. Mary Madubike, the husband was once a minister. I think he ran for governorship in Abuja State. But she did something when he wanted to take junior WAEC. There was a strike there, and we missed some days. But she was staying in Owerri. She would come from that place to our school to give us some extra classes. We close by 2 o'clock. She goes. By 4, she's back to take us, and every
just
single
2
one
hours
of us.
difference.
But my pain, like I said the other day, she left teaching. Okay? The other guy I met, integrated science also, I met him somewhere in Maitama with a nice car driving. When I saw him, I knew he was no longer a teacher. One other guy that did introductory technology also left. It was Shell that picked him. But you know why I need to say this? Mr. Usam benefited this from these people and yourself and myself, because I think to a large extent that time they were a little bit well taken care.
Mine was a private school. Mine was a private school.
Okay, now they were a little bit taking it. That was why she had extra to reach out and help somebody. But I don't know of teacher today that can do that. Because if you have like 3-4 kids, you've not paid their school fees, you are struggling to.
As a teacher, you are owing fees for your own children.
For your own children. So how
you can explain to us? Yeah, that's correct.
How can you help other people? So when they are, and some of these our leaders, they feel that they are helping them. So you see, when a child goes through a teacher that, let me just use the word, a teacher that is not happy, an unhappy teacher, is going to affect the society. Number one, whether the psychology of the child, even the right knowledge might not be impacted properly.
That's
now,
if they're not even abused.
This child, of course. So this child will now end up being a problem to the society. They are the ones that you see on the street that are always causing problem. Just like you said, in our days, you find out that even when you're struggling, like you said, you find your teacher giving you that extra time to make sure that, you meet up. They take their time to know, oh, this child is intelligent, but why is he struggling with mathematics? Maybe after school, he or she will give you extra 30 minutes and tell you, oh, look at how you can go about this thing.
Yeah.
Why are they doing that then? They were better. In those days, you had porters within school environment.
True.
And government takes care of those things. They live in freedom. Even when you are transferring from this school to another place, you have another place to live in.
Honorables.
Today is no longer the same.
I want to check something. Are we sure we're not being unfair to the government? Are we sure we are not... there's so many sectors that are, they're complaining. Everybody's complaining in the country.
So
yes.
let me tell you.
I just want us to be checked.
Why are we not buy into this one that you're saying? Number one, I said the other time, few months ago, Usan, if you can remember, that in some countries, lawmakers, you do it part-time. Usan can be a senator, you can be a senator, he goes to his job, dedicates like 3 hours, 4 hours, makes the law for the community, for his state, for the country, goes back to his job. You do the same, you return here. But why is it in Nigeria that they are earning millions every day? And the people who are really impacting on the lives of the future leaders, you're owing them.
Okay.
It doesn't make sense.
Before you even continue, sir, we have not blamed government here.
Okay.
We have not pointed finger at anybody or any section of the government. We are just saying that as a
Generally,
nation,
yes.
generally,
Okay.
that Nigeria as a nation should take education seriously. And
Okay.
that institution that forms people, that is why you can speak.
Yeah.
And people can listen and believe what you say.
Right.
If you didn't go to school, you can't be in this studio.
No, I can't. I definitely can't. I'll probably do something else. I love to drive. Maybe I'll be a bus driver or something. 0700.
More because you can't drive Uber. If you didn't go to school, you can't do Uber now.
0700 951 00. Molo no day again. Now BRT. 0700 951 0000. 0809 597 4869. Our WhatsApp is 0809 993 0137. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an issue on our hands. At the end of the show, I want to do something a little out of scope. I pray that I don't run into trouble. I pray that my programs manager forgives me for this. But I think I felt very sad about this issue. I'm waiting for your calls, by the way. You are invited to join the conversation. So let's talk about this issue. What do you think about it? In Yoruba, they will say, "Also see on the no buyosi," meaning that this one it confuses you. No, I wanted one. Where you want to start from. So maybe you have insights. Where do we start from? Can we leave the teachers to go on strike? Like, we're not talking about university teachers. We're talking about children that should be in school. It is an infringement on their rights, according to United Nations. It says it's an infringement on their rights. They should have access to quality education, and nothing should stand in the way of that quality education. But here we are. Our teachers in the FCT have embarked on indefinite strike as of today. Indefinite. That means we don't know when it will end. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. Gabriel, my name is Sunday. I'm calling you from Buhari.
Welcome, Mr. Sonny.
Yes, good morning to your guests. I want to say that I'm really impressed with the points they have said with regards to these teachers going on indefinite strike. Just like one of your speakers said, frankly speaking, primary education is the foundation of life. I use the word life because when you don't prioritize education in this country, trust me, you are preparing to fail. And the Nigerian government need to understand one thing. Anything that is wrong with primary education, you are directly destroying the economy and the foundation of how this country should grow tomorrow. Because the young generation need to be taught the fundamental and basic lessons of life. And when you deny them that privilege, of course, you are causing a lot of problems. And that is why you see that Nigerian parents, averagely, how many of them can afford to take their children to the best private schools in the country? So these are statistics we need to look at. And these government schools provide an environment for everybody to flourish. And for parents who are not well paid, who manage to send their children through these channels of education, and then you are now denying the teachers who is to impart the knowledge to them, their benefits. Tell me, how will they teach these children well? For me, as far as I'm concerned, the Nigerian government don't really care. And that is why we go extra mile. We work our ass out to make sure that we send our children to
language, Mr. Sonny, language.
The basic fundamental learning. And then, sorry, sir, forgive me, my apologies.
That's fine. Go on, please. That's fine.
So what I'm saying is that when you don't have the money to send your children to those private schools, you have to work so hard to raise little money and get that primary basis. That get it right from the foundation, and then from your university level, you can actually allow them to now go to the private universities. And even the private universities are also competitive. So please, I am appealing, I am begging the government to please teach teachers what they are asking for. Deliberate with them, have a discussion with them, and meet their needs, and let the children return back to school. Gabriel, that's what I'm asking for, because it pains me, even though my children are not going to government schools. Seriously, it pains me that a lot of children are denied their fundamental rights. Thank you so much, and God bless you, and God bless Nigeria, and God bless your speakers.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sonny. Thanks for calling. You can join the conversation to 0700 951 0000, 0809 597 4869. WhatsApp is 0809 993 0137. In my generation, honorables, it became some sort of, now some secondary schools they've wowed me. They've given me that's actually a wrong stereotype. But in my generation, I unfortunately did not meet the generation where public schools were the in thing. Public schools were the gold of education in Nigeria. I don't know why God didn't allow me come earlier enough. Yes. So at the time I came, it was secondary school or nothing. So, but we'll continue with this. Private school or nothing. Okay, actually, yeah. We'll continue the conversation after this commercial break.
So my husband's boss, Chief Odogu, came visiting.
Clothes you wash with the new good mama. He go